I haven't done a lot of fights with Flash. It's predominantly because he's a very difficult sort of character to work with. So someone threw out Flash Juggernaut, which I thought was fantastic for one primary reason. You have a red blur and a giant red guy. So what you're going to eventually see is red with streaks of red all around. And I do this in a 9 criteria system. If it's 5 to 4, a person with 5 more than likely will win. Not saying it's a definite. 6 to 3, it gets farther and farther in the favor of the person with the higher score. I use intelligence, findability, strength, speed, durability, invulnerability, energy projection, versatility, and X factor. So here we go. Intelligence. You know, Cain Marco, not an idiot, but I will go with the Barry Allen version. So forensic scientist. Barry Allen's ridiculously intelligent. Definitely doesn't just take the edge when it comes to intelligence. Fighting ability. They're both essentially kind of brawlers. I mean, I've never really seen Flash do a tremendous amount of losing my camera. I've never really seen Flash do a tremendous amount of actual, fisticuffs. He doesn't need to. He's got tremendous speed. Where Juggernaut has almost always been doing some sort of physical activity and brawling. So I definitely will give Juggernaut a slight edge when it comes to fighting ability. Strength, Juggernaut. Speed, Flash. Some of these are pretty easy to do. Durability. They both actually have healing factors. However, I have to look at which one's going to actually get tired. Juggernaut, classically, does not get tired. I think I'm slowly moving again. Adjust that a little more. There we go. So that's where Juggernaut just does not get tired. Invulnerability, it's Juggernaut. Super easy. Juggernaut with the force field withstands virtually any sort of physical blow. Energy projection. This might seem kind of weird, but as this fight gets a little bit farther away, there's a lot more things that Barry actually can do at range. Whether it's the Cyclones, whether it's one of my favorite things they did in the Justice League cartoon was when they were fighting the Justice Lords, and Flash grabs a handful of rock and just begins to rocket pelt their version of Superman. And it's great. Also is in the Mugen game, which is awesome as well. Versatility. Being the best person at speed, there's a lot of things that he can do. A tremendous amount of things that he can do. So they're tied up. You've got a guy who is the best when it comes to speed versus the guy who can take an absolute non-stop beating. He's taking a beating from the most powerful individuals, essentially in the Marvel universe. It's all that X factor. What is that one last piece? What is that one thing that just really truly defines? Does the fastest person win, or does the absolute pure definition of a tank? So I'm going to come down to one last thing. That ends up being the Speed Force. What Barry can do, which is one of his more powerful attributes, is siphon the speed off of an individual. It doesn't matter who he's facing. If that person cannot move, Barry can just wail the daylights out of the person till they drop. True. Juggernaut's relatively immune to physical attacks. Probably thinking, yeah, but he could very easily steal all of his speed and then just run on the planet and just hit him as hard as he absolutely possibly can. So he's going to build this tremendous amount of speed, and sooner or later he's going to find some sort of attack that's going to affect Juggernaut. Flip side, Juggernaut's force field. And Juggernaut's going to be able to take any physical shot that Flash can dish out, and he's not going to drop. However, Juggernaut is unstoppable once he gets into motion. I'm almost thinking the ability to steal Juggernaut's speed is not going to help Barry, because he can't stop the Juggernaut. Regardless of what Barry's going to do, I don't use BFR, but he can do a cyclone and take all the air away from him. Juggernaut doesn't need air to breathe, so he doesn't need food. So I'm going to give this one to Juggernaut. It's going to be one of those kind of bizarre moments where it doesn't matter what Barry does, he's not going to be able to defeat Juggernaut. He could take his power to the point that Juggernaut is an absolute crawl, but Juggernaut is still moving. Possibly to that with the impenetrable force field, he might not be able to steal the speed from him. He might not be able to do enough physical touching to remove the speed from him. And he's going to hit him with virtually everything. It's not going to be enough, even with the amount of speed that he can pick up. You know, even if he tries to do it, well, if I run past him, maybe I can carry him in my I won't say backwash, but if I can carry him essentially on the energy trail behind me, maybe I can take him, maybe I can hurl him into something. Juggernaut's going to be like, okay, so you've moved me and threw me at something. Or it's going to be like, so you're trying to move me, but you can't move me. But another thing too is that sooner or later, Flash will get tired. You know, this is one of those situations where they're not leaving the fight. So sooner or later, Juggernaut is just going to wait for that moment where he's just going to need to go, I'm just going to need to hit you. It's going to be like the time when Homer Simpson was a boxer. Wait for your opponent to tire him out and then just push him over. Because regardless of what Flash does, he does not possess the overall amount of skill required and the skill set required to defeat someone like Juggernaut.